American entrepreneur and businessman Donald Trump has rarely been out of the headlines in recent months as he seeks the Republican Party's nomination for the upcoming United States of America presidential elections. Trump's campaign has come under fire, largely for his considerable outspoken political views, but also because of the way that protesters are treated and manhandled at his political rallies. Well, this past weekend, a protester who happened to be a turban-bearded Sikh was ejected from a Trump rally, news which has made headlines around the world. First reported by the American ABC network, the reason why this particular news has been covered across the globe and is now trending on social media is because of the words that Trump uses once the protester has been ejected from the building. From the Washington Post to social media's YouNow, it's widely being reported that Trump made a jibe about the Sikh protester's turban, referring to it as one of those hats. If we watch the footage that has been made available back, we can see the turban protester being escorted off of the balcony, manhandled quite physically by security as Trump says bye-bye, and the crowd whipped up into a frenzy chants USA, USA. When the camera connects back to Trump, we see him looking mainly towards the ground floor level of the theatre, and he points out into the audience saying he wasn't wearing one of those hats, was he? Trump continues, was he wearing one of those things? No, and he never will. When one hears that complete piece of audio, we understand that those hats that Trump is referring to is a cap that is being worn by supporters in the theatre, not the turban that the Sikh protester adorned. There is a chance that perhaps Donald Trump is trying to make a backhanded comment about the headgear of that particular Sikh protester. However, what most news agencies have been reporting is that the commentary, those hats, is actually in reference to the Sikh gentleman's turban. If you watch many of these clips that are being shared on social media and indeed on the newspaper websites, you will see the audio cut out before Donald Trump says the words, no, and he never will. Ladies and gentlemen, I am in no way a Donald Trump supporter or sympathizer. I find his political rhetoric abhorrent and his political views completely out of touch with the modern world. What I take issue with here is news agencies that try to manipulate people, in particular on this occasion, the Sikh community, who feel very sensitively about the way that we look, our identity, and the way that it is perceived, particularly in the United States of America. Journalists and news media broadcasters have a responsibility and a duty of care to present facts and information in impartial terms. Sikhs are no strangers to media manipulation, and that is partly why I feel so strongly about how the news media has presented this particular story. Just as I despise the way that the news media denigrates stories of serious interest to the Sikh and Punjabi community worldwide, in the same manner, I despise the fact that they are trying to manipulate our sensitivities toward the turban, a symbol of our freedom and unique identity in the world, just to take shot at Donald Trump and his political campaign. Yes, there is no doubt that we should all be asking serious questions of Donald Trump's political policies, and particularly the manner in which his supporters drum up a frenzy of activity against immigrants, against people of the Islamic faith, and against people from poorer backgrounds who don't have the voice that they have. However, that does not mean that our feelings should be manipulated just to make a stand against Mr. Trump. Instead, the news media should be presenting much deeper analysis and insight into the kind of policies that Donald Trump is presenting. Perhaps if news media around the world, but quite specifically in the United States of America, focused on presenting deeper analysis of news stories that are of importance and have an impact on every single one of our lives, then we would be taking more of an interest, rather than seeking to manipulate things that are being said and uttered to get us het up and making a response. This is YouTube, so I'm inclined to say click subscribe.